Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Radiant Tale, and we might find out what Zephora's hiding from us today. I really think the Sentinel dude is his dad. That's what I hope. If it's not, I'm going to be kind of disappointed. Unless they make like the juicy backstory really good. But there's something going on here why he doesn't want to go with everybody. And why when Ginio was like, we're gonna go talk to him, Zephora was like, ugh, and it wasn't just like an attitude face, it was like a fuck face. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see. So we're on that ball now. Woo! Then, after lunch, a person claiming to be a Sentinel advisor came to our camp before leading us to an estate. It's gotta be his dad. Woo! Look at this place. It's swanky. Does he look like him? I mean, I don't think so, but the man's kind of hot. Like, the salt and pepper hair going on. But you know what I mean? You can't say he's got the same white hair, because it's really like the white streaks in the front and the side. It's like that sexy professor, aged professor look going on, and the rest of it's just kind of gray. Like, you know, Zephora, if this is your dad, I'm not sure if I want to marry you or be your new mom. Like, honestly, your dad's probably closer to my age than you are, but like, whatever. We'll keep it in the family. I've got a father-son duo here. This is the shit you expect from this channel, right? Good God, I feel bad for people who are new here. This is peak. Oh, good God. Anyway, but look at your tie tag that's like got hooked to your lapel. They did a good. The costuming and the clothing, good job. I'm just saying because like it's like a normal jacket, but then he's got that like popped collar kind of thing going on. But then like the sleeves have that little floofy detail kind of thing. Like, it's minor details like this. This is what all clothes should be like. Not just a plain business suit jacket, although those are hot, don't get me wrong. A little extra flair like this, though, is just like chef's kiss. I'm still trying to figure out a few. I don't have a voice for this man, so I'm just too excited for what's gonna happen here. Oh my God. Welcome, esteemed guests. Apologies for the long walk. I'm afraid that my busy work confines me to my residence. Balto. Balto is a dog in a kid's frickin' movie from, like, the 90s or 2000s or something. That's all I can think of. Wasn't he a white dog? Like, wait, was it a cartoon? Wasn't that a cartoon? Was it not a Disney one, but, like, I don't think it was Disney. Wasn't he like a superhero dog? Somebody will know. Look, I have nieces and nephews that, like, I'm pretty sure that's why we watched it. When was it? It feels, I say like 90s because I don't want to imagine, like, but no, it was like more in the 2000s, wasn't it? It wasn't that long ago. Was it that long ago? Anyway. Please, allow me to introduce myself. I am the Sentinel, Balto. A pleasure to meet you all. Dressed in a high-quality suit, the Sentinel oozed grace and dignity, and he's handsome as fuck. Like, okay. I'm just saying. Why we gotta be a 16-year-old girl? Why can't we be like 25 and dating dads? It's not something I ever thought I would say, but the man's handsome, okay? Usually, they make older characters. He's like, I'm 30, and they look dead. So this man's probably like 26, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, you watch anime and the shit, or even games and the shit people are doing, you're like, oh, what are they, like, late 20s, early 30s? And they're like, I'm 19! And you're like, yeah, no, that's bullshit. Nobody's that accomplished at that. Okay, like, a handful of people maybe, but, like, most of us aren't even that accomplished by the time we're about to die. Like, nah. You know, like... So, like, in... like, Otome logic, this man's probably, again, like, 26, 27. And they were like, we gotta give him age lines, because at that point, you're dead. I'm sorry, if you're over the age of 25, you're fucking old, and you might as well just curl up in a ball and die already, alright? Like the rest of us. Like, Jesus. Seriously, you know the feeling. You're not old, you're still Itty bitty babies. Back in my day, we didn't have a crisis till we turned 30. The disciplined atmosphere was contagious, and I straightened my back. But, like, seriously, he's, like, super handsome. Oh my god, I like the... Did they just put, like, a height difference? Did they just, like, make Ginny, like, so much taller than... I like it. Oh my god, look at his jacket, though! I mean, like, okay, I expect Ginny to have flair and everything. The pearls around his waist, though. Good lord. You know, every time I look at the sprites and their clothing, it just gets better. But, like, look at that jacket! I need a man with flair like this. He have gloves on, too? Stop it. I am Ginia, the leader of Circus. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy day to meet us this fine afternoon. After greetings were done and over with, Ginia got down to business. Under the command of the king, we're performing in various cities at the moment. But in Kultura, the riots seem to have cast a shadow on the hearts of the citizens, and their daily lives are inhibited as well. Thus, we wish to bring some cheer back to the city with our show, if possible. Yeah, like, they're probably, like, the man is so, why is he so good looking? Stop it. This game is really good with making, like, all the side characters pretty. Have we met a side, okay, Ginia, we can't date, but he's, like, the very, like, love interesty sidekick we've ever, like, side character we've ever had. Like, seriously, Jesus. He's so much of a love interest, but just not. The game has, like, put him in your face, like, but you can't have it. So technically he's a side character, but, like, also main character side? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what they were thinking. Again, it's a crime. But, like, Leon, hot. Aleste, hot. Balto, maybe clown boyfriend's dad, but also hot? Why? Is it just me? Is there something wrong with me? Is it this game? Have I been playing these games too long? Is this what, like, usually with side characters, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, but I don't really mind that you can't date most of them. Oliver and Pio Fiore is an exception. I love him to death. There have been a few here and there, but, like, I usually see people like, every side character need to date them, and I'm like, I'm okay if I don't. Like, there's a few I would, you know what I mean? It's always like a handful, a scattering of sprinkles, right? And this time it's like, stop it. You can't put out this buffet and tell me I can't eat it. You know what I mean? It's rude. Damn it! What the shit? Can we date all of them in the fan disc, and can they localize that now? We haven't even gotten through the common route in this, and I'm already like, fan disc now. I was saying that before I even played the game, but... We'd like your help, Sentinel. Would it be possible for you to appeal to your people so they would come watch? In other words, you want me to tell the residents to leave their homes and attend? Look at him as he's pondering. Why is he so handsome? Though I would love to cooperate, I'm afraid that it's difficult at present while crimes are running rampant. If an incident occurs in a crowded area, it could lead to a tragic disaster. I guessed as much. Though I'd expected this response, feeling that spark of hope snuff out was depressing. And with all due respect, I believe that the current lifestyle of the citizens is fine as it is. What? I almost thought I'd misheard, but it turned out that he'd really said that. Yes, the riots are a problem in Kultura, but if we ignore that one fact, the lives of the people here are stable. They're never allowed to leave their houses. I mean, like, sure. Like, it's stable for a temporary situation. Look at COVID, right? Like, yeah, I mean, it was like, it's temporary 2 years later. Like, nobody expected that. And, like, you had to adjust and deal, but it wasn't like, I mean, everyone's been in their house for 2 years, might as well stay there forever. Everything's shut down permanent. Like, you know what I mean? It was an extenuating circumstance, and it was long-term temporary, you know, a long temporary period, but it was temporary. It's that he's basically like, this is fine. You're sitting in a flaming room, sir. It's not fine. He is literally that meme. Like, stable? Is that how you describe the present state of the city? I'd fully intended on letting Ginia take the reins while I stayed silent. But Baldo's words were so astounding that I couldn't stop myself from responding. Right. We're not suffering a net loss in trade, and in fact, we are earning a record profit compared to the past few decades. Cultura has many craftsmen, but until now, they wasted much of their time on utterly pointless matters such as conventions and talking to humans. Human interactions decreased with the riots, and as a result, our workers focused on their trades and began producing more wares. Wow. You are so lucky you are nice to look at, because that is like one of the douchiest fucking things that has ever come out of anyone's mouth. Okay, that's not true, but it's a douchey thing to say. That is like every single person who has ever had a shitty boss is like triggered right now. And is like, what the fuck? I'm a human, not a robot, you bastard! Every fucking shitty work environment you've triggered. Jesus. Because that is exactly how businesses treat human beings. Like, I don't know, whatever. Like, now a lot of companies and stuff are like, work-life balance is important. You think? Where the fuck did you just now figure that shit out? You know what I mean? And like, a lot of places it's more talk. And it's just spewing buzzwords. And then some places they actually do try to make that possible. However, the 40-hour work week is bullshit. And you really have a shitty work-life balance when that's how much you work. Or if you even work more than that. You know what I mean? Sadly, you sometimes have to work more than that to make ends meet in this economy. And that sucks. But like, Jesus. I mean, that's not your boss being like, no, I mean like, yeah, why are you sleep for 8 hours and then you work for 8 hours and then you go home and you have like, and then with your commute, 90% of your day is spent like, and the people who argue that a third of your day, only a third is spent work, like whatever, it's like, that's not true because even though I only spend 8 hours at work, if I sleep for 8 hours, you have to think of commutes and then the prepping for work and all of that. And then it's like, you have what, maybe an hour to enjoy yourself because so having to like cook and clean and take care of your family and normal adult human responsibilities is supposed to be my fun time. So then my life is basically I work, I come home, I clean, I go to bed, I have 5 minutes to myself. Do anything enjoyable? What the fuck? That's not a work-life balance. Life isn't just adult fucking responsibilities. You know what I mean? So having to put in a third of your life to work or more, kind of fucked up. And this guy's over here like, well, I mean, they were only doing a third and now they're doing like 2/3. It's great. When they're not sleeping, they're working. Look, if I can find a way that they didn't sleep, all the better. Oh my God, sir. You're lucky you're hot, man. I might accept. I wish he wasn't. Then I'd be like, I hate you. You suck. But I'm like, but you're so pretty. Why are you going to be such a dick? Please have a redemption arc. Oh my God. He's saying that communication's a waste? He's also saying having any kind of work-life balance is a waste. Girl, focus. The riots must end, that's for sure. But even if they don't, it won't affect Kultura's survival. That's, if I may, is that truly what the people of Kultura wish for? He's like, I don't care what they want. Or what I want. As that question left my lips, a frosty look settled in Balto's eyes. Maybe this is why Zephora didn't want to talk to Daddy. But it was brief. Perhaps it had been a trick of the light. No. Don't you want to try to fix him? We played Otome games too much. He immediately gave me a benign smile. There may be incidents that pose risks, but my people are living with freedom and prosperity. How could this not be bliss? They don't have freedom, though. His tone made it sound like a question, but he had a pressure to him that seemed to forbid any objections on my part. I heard that this city was once so tightly knit that it even earned the moniker City of Harmony. But the people have lost that, and their current situation must be so painful. Yet, and that's true because it's not like you can pick up the phone and call someone because those don't exist. The only one of those devices that exists we have to talk to a list. Like, there's no such thing as phones, apparently, in this world. You know what I mean? at least in COVID, you could like web chat with people, you could video chat with people, you could pick up your cell phone and call your mom. You know what I mean? Like, you may not have been able to go out with people, and that might have sucked for introverts, but I mean, extroverts, God, no. But you know what I mean? You could pick up a phone and call someone. You could like get, okay, guys, like, that's why we don't do it as often, but we had a Marco Polo group with my mom and my sisters. My sister said, I was like, everybody needs to get on Marco Polo so that we could just like, oh, hey, blah, 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 whatever, and like talk. And like, yeah, it was like texting, but it was just easier to talk and as a little video recording. You know what I mean? Like, so like we would do that. And in the very beginning, we would put together like little wish lists on Amazon. And then we would go in and just like rant like little cheap little things. And then like, so all of a sudden you just get a package and it'd be like your sister sent you a little gift from your wish list. And we put one together for my mom. So we'd send her stuff. So she'd be like, oh, just got some books in the mail. And you're like, yeah, I know. Like, you know what I mean? Just like random little trinkety things, just like little gifty things that you randomly bought for each other just to like, to have that little human connection. You know what I mean? So like, you worked around it, but you weren't trapped in your home with no human contact. You know? These people are trapped in their homes, and the only human contact they have might be the people that live with them. Actually, it sounds fucking amazing, so I kind of want to live in this man's society. But, like, you know what I mean? Even I would go stir crazy. Well, I do this, so that's my human contact. But again, you wouldn't have technology like this. You wouldn't have, like, they don't have like YouTube and streaming where you could sort of communicate. You literally would be trapped alone in your house with no one to talk to but yourself. You would literally go insane. Even I would go insane in that situation. So like, this dude's crazy. Only the citizens of Kultura know what people here define as happiness. As someone born and raised in Kultura, I have faith that I can lead the people of the city more fittingly than anyone else. The happiness that Balto spoke of seemed like something completely foreign compared to the mundane happiness I knew of. But I can't deny that I don't know much about Kultura. I'm an outsider and I don't have the right to speak out against him. I like that they're doing this, like he's being such a dick about it, because Zephora's going to talk to him and get it, and they're going to be like, why did you do that? Because he's like, because he's my dad. Lord Balto, I believe it's about time. Ah, time flies. My apologies, but I must take my leave now. I see. I understand your stance on the matter. Though it's a pity we cannot receive your aid. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to us. He's like, oh, that's true, because it's not like the king can do anything here. It's not like the king can be like, yo, you do what I say because you don't actually work for me. I should be the one thanking you for your patience. My condolences. It doesn't make up for much, but I shall distribute sachets to all of you. Balto snapped his fingers, and the advisor handed us all small bags. Oh, scent is just like... The sachet is like a proof of citizenship. Oh, great, now I gotta get locked in my house. Inside it are dried herbs made from a plant called maracas, the management of which is passed down from sentinel to sentinel. Maracas, a plant that only grows in Kultura. Its scent is beloved by wind spirits, and one can make their wish come true by offering the spirits its fragrance. To prevent misuse of the plant, only the labyrinth sentinels are privy to its cultivation method and location. Maracas? I've never heard of that. Maracas is a special flower that only grows in Kultura. Its scent is famous, for wind spirits take quite a liking to it. Only the sentinel of each generation knows where and how they're grown as a measure to prevent misuse. Is it really all right for us to accept such invaluable items? Please accept them as a token of apology for my inability to help you with your show, and as long as you have this sachet, wind spirit shall guide you even if you get lost in the labyrinth. Oh, I get it now. This is the thing that Zephora took out, in the labyrinth. See, no one said Zephora, and now, wait for it. I was waiting for a different expression on Balto's face, but... Oh, now that you mention it... The smell is all over the city, so I was curious for the longest time. You did say something like that. I actually thought your nose was broken. Zephora comes from here, so that explains how we already knew about the sachet, huh? Zephora? Yes, he's a member of Circus. He was unable to attend today due to other matters. Do you possibly know of him? hiding it too. Everybody's hiding it. Don't mind me. It is a common name in Kultura, so I was intrigued for a moment. Something about Balto's smile seemed off. They have some kind of history. I still think it's Daddy, but our audience with him ended before I had time to probe into it. That's why he didn't want to go. Okay, it could be something like, oh, they had a fault, they had some kind of issue, like whatever. But I still feel like it's a dad thing. You know what I mean? Because like, if it's like, oh, he's just a citizen and they had run-ins constantly, you know what I mean? Like, you were the bad kid and the chief of police has always like had to arrest you all the time. You know what I mean? Like that kind of scenario. Yeah, okay, but like that's not as good as like, that's your dad? You know what I mean? That's so much more exciting. Well, now, what to do? On our way back, Ginia muttered to himself, sounding vexed. I like him, he's like, Zephora's a common name. I bet it's not, though. We knew this might happen, but it looks like we've reached a dead end. I guess our only choice is to hand out flyers house by house, right? Maybe. It's gonna be tough, but that might be what we'll have to resort to this time. If the riots were solved, promotion would be easier, but problem is, I think that's gonna take a long time. I guess we gotta go slow and steady. As we talked about our plans... And can anyone else hear that? It sounds like there's a dispute. At Ion's assessment, we rushed over to the source of the commotion, and there we found Zephora. Oh, you knew it. Zephora? Amanda grabbed Zephora by the collar and was roaring at him. How dare you come back! Ugh. Hey, what are you doing? Let him go! Bilio ran in and wedged himself between the two, shielding Zephora. I love how Zephora's so mean to him, but Bilio will still stand up for him. He's such a good little himbo dragon, isn't he? What's with you people? We're Circus, a performance troupe dispatched here by the castle. Zephora's one of our members. Please stop treating him this way. Circus? Don't know what you're talking about, but for your own good, you better kick this guy out. Please elaborate. We're like, please elaborate. He's an underhanded backstabber who abandoned Kultura and ran away. Who knows when he'll desert you too? Aww. Aww, he probably had a reason. Oi! Abandon's pretty extreme, don't you think? What's wrong with leaving your hometown? Extreme? Right, you outsiders wouldn't know about what this guy did. Fine then, I'll enlighten you. He was once the rightful heir of the Sentinel. I told you Balto was his daddy. Unless it's supposed to be his older brother, but... Huh? You say was. Why is that? We're asking this guy, and it's like, maybe we should get the story from Zephora, but he's not going to tell us. 3 years ago, this guy abandoned his post as the successor and ran away from Kultura. Out of despair, his father, the previous Sentinel, and his mother both committed suicide. So who's the current one? Is that his brother, then? Because Balto was supposed to be born into it. Balto probably killed his parents. But, like, man, that's slightly more... Okay, this is a little more dramatic. But, like, it's sad because I wanted Balto to be his dad. But then again... He's probably not old enough. Who knows? Who knows anime logic? Oh, his uncle. Oh, that's not as fun. That's not as fun. It's still okay, and I was still kinda on it, but okay. It's better that he's the uncle as opposed to, like, oh yeah, we just had some run-ins type of a thing, but I really wanted it to be his dad. Man, alright, okay, fine, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not as good as my idea, but it's up there. It is okay. The family connection is there, and that's, the most important part. And now his uncle, Lord Balto, has taken over the position of Sentinel. Balto, 1. The man who controls Kultura as its current Labyrinth Sentinel, Zephora's uncle. My mind couldn't keep up with this rapid fire of mind-blowing information. Zephora was the Sentinel's heir? 3 years ago, he threw away the title, and now his uncle is the current Sentinel. Listen up, Zephora! Get out of this city right now! You abandoned this place once. Have you no shame coming back as if nothing happened? Spitting out those last words, the man left. We were left standing there, awkwardness hanging thick in the air. Was that possibly why Zephora's been going around alone in Kultura? Because if the people here saw him, they'd realize who he was? Hey, Zephora, was he telling the truth? Were you the Sentinels? My past has nothing to do with you. You all should only focus on preparing for the show. He didn't allow any room for negotiation and turned to leave. Wait! I grabbed Zephora's hand and forced him to stay. We can't leave you alone after seeing what just happened. It's not like any of you can do anything. You'd only be nuisances to me if you poked your noses into this for self-satisfaction. I'm worried about you, Zephora, and worry if you want. I'll do as I want too. Hearing those words, I felt my eyebrows twitch in irritation. Zephora, you're always like this. You won't tell us anything about you. In Kalita, we all worked together to make our show successful, but look at you now! That was just a coincidence. Scales tipped in our favor due to sheer luck, and we happened to succeed. Fine, I won't hound you then. No getting anywhere with you. Well, we're gonna get somewhere with him, but not yet. See that I finally got through to you? In that case, I'll go ask the Sentinel instead. What? He's like, Since you won't tell us, we can just ask Balto. Don't get involved with that scoundrel! Suddenly, an indignant yell erupted from him. Ooh, I mean, I'm not gonna disregard Zephora's opinion because Balto is keeping everybody in a fucking prison of their houses. So, like, handsome. Like looking at the man. But he's kind of a douche. The anger in his eyes was vivid and scalding. I jumped, startled. And look, if I have to choose between Zephora and Balto, I'm absolutely choosing Clown Boyfriend. You know? Even if the clown part's slightly terrifying. Again, Fearection over here. Like, I'm just somehow oddly into it, so totally gonna side with Clown Boyfriend. Never, ever approach him. It won't turn out well for you. Why? I only want to understand what's going on. Okay. Settle down, everyone. Zephora, cool it with the aggression. Zephora, I know you probably have your own reasons and all, but no matter what, yelling at someone without giving him any chance to explain is not cool, my dude. I just love the way Rady talks. There's just something about the little inflections they put. I think I'm really proud we gave him this accent, because I think it works really well. You know what I mean? Just... With displeased click of his tongue, Zephora marched off quickly. I could only stare at him in a daze as he retreated. As the morning sun gently kissed the tents, I heard the song of birds. On any other day, I'd have been long awake, but for some reason I was dragging my feet getting out of bed. Why did Zephora get so upset? Spacey, are you still in bed? Rady climbed his way up to my bed and pressed his soft paw pads against my cheeks. There's just so, like, you can just imagine him, like, cupping your face in his hands as a hot man, or just, like, a cute floofball being like, boop, poking you in the face, and it's just disjointingly weird. I never see you sleeping. That's Zephora, isn't it? Well, you two had a little quarrel yesterday. I'm not surprised. Yeah, just wondering why Zephora got so mad. Something happened between him and Balto? Well, Zephora's not the best at expressing himself sometimes. Ever? Unless it's anger. That he's really good at expressing. He probably won't tell you everything. Still, even if you don't drag the whole truth out, there are many things you can do, you know. Brady's eyes seemed to unfocus, looking at something distant. Then he whispered, Learning the past might reveal new clues, and the desire to know isn't a bad thing at all. But are you really concerned? Or are you just curious? When he puts it like that, I'm not sure. I thought I was just worried about him. But there's a reason why he isn't telling us. Why was I pressuring him so hard about revealing it? What did I even want to do? Thanks, Rady. I think I've calmed down a little. No worries, my dude. Okay, let's go and grab some chow. It's also extremely funny that he calls us my dude. So, like, then when you romance him, it's like, you're not going to keep calling me my dude, right? Time wouldn't stop and wait for me to mope. I had many things I needed to tackle in order to prepare for the impending show. I love seeing our little dress floofed up back there. Now that I'd pulled myself together, I went to the common area. Zephora wasn't there. If you were looking for Zephora, he seems to have finished breakfast earlier than usual before taking his leave. I see. I wanted to talk to him about what happened yesterday, but he's not here. Oh well. For breakfast, I had herb bread, which was baked in a stone oven, smeared with plenty of fruit jam. Ugh, herb bread sounds good. I have a loaf of sourdough bread, like the bakery kind of one, because like normally I just have regular, sliced bread that you get, whatever. And it's good. Don't get me wrong. Dave's Killer Bread is fucking amazing, and they're everything breakfast bread. Okay, I'm not saying make sandwiches out of that. I'm just saying get that and just eat it like it's a bagel, like an everything bagel. A little bit of cream cheese on it. I like frying up an egg and putting it on top of that, just like an open face sandwich. It's fucking delicious. Like, that is like my treat bread. Like, oh, if I just want to have instead of having bagels, because it's a lot less calories and you still get that everything flavor, and it's just like so good toast. But their other bread is like really freaking good, But like I got a loaf of sourdough because I finally found, guys, just be happy for me, okay? If you do not know what the joy of Kava harissa, not any harissa, it has to be the Kava brand, and it's in like a little tub, like you would get hummus. You know what I mean? You've never had that in your life. It is the most delicious, spicy, basically like a tomato paste. Like, I've gotten the harissa in a jar before, and it is literally just like licking salt. It's too salty. But the Kava brand, oh my god. I had it years and years ago, like my ex-boyfriend introduced me to it. Because you could get it by where his parents lived. I don't think you can get it south of fucking Virginia, okay? You couldn't for the longest time. So he was like, oh, you'd probably like it because you like spicy food, whatever. I tried it. It was like the best thing ever. We bought so many of them, put them in my freezer. You know what I mean? Because they freeze nice and they de-thaw perfectly. Like, you don't know the difference. Trust me. And like, I've been looking for it for fucking years, guys. And when I say years, I mean it has been like 8 years, maybe? And 8 fucking years. I feel like 7, 8 years. Like the last time I had it was before I started this channel, okay? Like, and it's so good, and I always look and I could never find it. If you have a Whole Foods, that's where I find mine. And I don't know why the other day I was just like, let me see if they have it on, like, because like I have to order my groceries because I can't drive right now. So like, for those of you who don't know, it's because I had like weird issues blacking out like the end of last year. It's not like because like I did anything bad or anything. It's just my doctor's like, you probably shouldn't, because like, what if you black out while you're driving? And it's like, good point. If I haven't blacked out in like since January, I've been fine, but like still don't know what's wrong. Still have weird issues. Anyway, so I have to get my groceries delivered. So I have to use Amazon Fresh because otherwise it's like I have to pay someone a fuck ton of money to go walk around the grocery store and shop for me, and I hate that because my grocery store used to just the workers. It would be like if you ordered stuff at Target, they pack it up and then you go pick it up. Like the grocery store, I guess, will do that if you go pick it up. But like when you have it delivered, they used to pack it up and then someone would just go pick it up and drop it off. You know, like an Uber, like if you got like Uber Eats or you like whatever, you used, a food delivery app that wasn't like the pizza place delivering it to you. You know what I mean? So like, it was like that, and it was just easy. Okay, you tip that person for driving your groceries to you. Now they do it through Shipt, which is like I have to pay someone and give them the list, and that person goes through the grocery store and picks up, and that costs more money because I'm like, I gotta pay someone to shop for me, and I'm like, no, I'm not about that. So I use Amazon Fresh, however much we want to be like Amazon. It's questionable. We all still buy shit from Amazon, we know. But they also do Whole Foods, so I don't know why. The other day, I was literally like, Kava harissa, and there it was. And my Whole Foods had it. So I bought 3 tubs of it. But like, you toast up some sourdough bread, put the harissa on it, and it's good just like that. A little bit of cheese. You can put anything on it. You can put like chicken or like whatever kind of meat oh my god, it's just the best. I cooked a can of chickpeas with a little bit of like sweet sriracha sauce, mashed them up kind of, mixed some cheese in there and some other seasonings, and just put that on top of the. Oh my god, it's the best fucking thing. It's the best thing ever. It's just so good. For God's sakes, just dipping bread in this harissa. I mean, if you don't like spicy things, you'd hate it because it is literally like fire in your mouth, but it's so goddamn good. And I would be lying if I said I didn't take one of the 2 tubs I put in my freezer out already to get onto my second tub of this since I bought it, and I literally just ordered 5 more because I'm like, because it's expensive, and like Whole Foods is expensive. But I'm like, I'm gonna get a bunch of it, put it in my freezer. This way I don't have to like, it's there. Cause oh my god, I'm just saying, but it's the herb bread, like, oh, like a nice crusty, fresh loaf of herb bread. And that led me to that, because I've literally been eating that for days. Anyway, cooking time with Spacey. Have fun with that one. Jesus. Anyway. But I would have had my herb bread with some cream cheese on it, not fruit jam. After that, we wasted no time and immediately began handing out the flyers. Guys, I'm just so excited about getting fucking kava harissa again after 8 years. And it tastes just as good as I remembered. It's not, one of those things where you eat it and you're like, I remembered it fondly as 10 years ago, but it's not good. No. God, I think it's even better than I remembered. I was like, oh, my mouth remembered this flavor and I'm so vindicated. Oh God, I'm so happy. Anyway. I see what you kids are about, but going to watch that show is going to be hard. We don't know when the next riot will happen, and oh, that's a scary idea. I can't go outside on a whim while knowing that. Lord Balto's even prohibited us from leaving our houses unless necessary. Even my husband's in prison right now. I could never go outside with how things are. It must have been divine punishment for my husband to turn like that. He felt such sorrow about how we can't freely talk to our friends in the current cultura. And he often grumbled about Lord Balto, who approves of this new cultura. Sentinel's the envoy of the great spirit Libra. It was inevitable that he be punished for criticizing such a man. I feel like right now that seems insightful. I'm going to put a pin in that. Like, is Balto doing something? Because remember, like, didn't we say that when we were first talking about, when Aless told us about the rides, we're like, this sounds like a plot, you know what I mean? Not just accidental. It sounds like there's some magic afoot, and, you know what I'm saying? Balto's got a lot of control here. So this seems sus. Look at the little sign behind him with a little meat, with the, a little hambo, a little meatball, whatever the hell it is. So funny. Circus? I like to come, that's for sure, but I don't think Lord Balto would like that. You're saying that I should voice my opinion? No, never. Lord Balto would never listen to what we have to say. Plus, if I do object to his policies, I don't think I could stay in Cultura anymore. After handing out the flyers, I returned to the common area and let out a long, long sigh. Welcome back, guys. How was it? Good at all, I think. Yeah, everyone was like parrots. It was all just Lord Balto this, Lord Balto that, blah. I feel that the situation has worsened since the last time we went around the city. Did that old dude say something to the citizens? He must have, from the way things are now. But we have learned one thing, and not everyone is happy about the Sentinel's policies, though they all obey. Right. It actually felt like they're unable to voice their complaints, not unwilling. Balto said that all the citizens of Cultura were happy with this, but I couldn't agree less with that. Everyone we talked to had seemed to imply that they couldn't come to watch because someone told them they couldn't. They didn't have the freedom to say what they wanted, nor go where they wanted. How could they ever wish for that? How could anyone call that happiness? I mean, okay, like, listen. Again, COVID was great for some of us. But that's because we still had access to modern technology to be able to talk to people as needed and do our jobs. Like, some of us, like, it was harder for other people. You know what I mean? But, like, I could still talk to people, and I'm an introvert, so it's okay. Well, it worked for me. It wasn't stressful. But this version of it is, like, the extreme, I feel like this version of it is exactly like how extroverts felt. It's like I can't talk to anyone and I'm in a prison cell by myself. I'm in solitary confinement. Dude, just pick up the phone and call someone. It's fine. You're okay. Simmer down. Like, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, this version of it where like you can't leave your house, you have no modern technology where you could like have any kind of human interaction, like at least watching TV. Yeah, sure, you're watching a television show, it's not the same, but you're seeing other people. You know what I mean? You could watch a YouTube video and kind of sort of feel like you're interacting, you know, by leaving comments or whatever, or watch a live stream and chat with other people while you're talking to the streamer or watching them. You know what I mean? Like you can still feel like that even if you didn't have a cell phone to like pick up and call your mom or text your friends or, you know, get on work calls. You know what I mean? Like there's a ton of ways that you can pseudo socialize with. I mean, you're still socializing with people, but it's not physical in-person contact. You still have ways to communicate with people. This, it's like only the people in your house, and if there's no one else in your house, fuck. You know what I mean? That's crazy. It is troubling. At this rate, people will not show up at all. To deal with the riots first. Might be impossible otherwise. Frankly, I think that's our only option. Not even the government's at a loss, right? Didn't they say it happened 3 years ago they started? Was that like right before Zephora maybe ran away, his parents died? But I have a feeling Balto had something to do with it. It wasn't like Zephora being like, peace out, I'm running away! I think Balto orchestrated a lot of this. I'm gonna feel like. Like, somehow getting Zephora to run away, like voluntarily leave. But then he killed his parents and made it look like a suicide so that Zephora would feel guilty. You know what I mean? And like, and then he takes over and like, I feel like it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing here, right? He did some shady shit anyway. Will we even make a difference? Well, even if we don't end the riots, if we're able to pinpoint the reason people go mad, the government can address things. But they have zero clue about that either. I think we really need Zephora's help. He's the key. If what we heard yesterday was true, Zephora should know the city better than anyone else. He's going out alone now because he's investigating the riots on his own, right? As he said that, Vilio met my eyes. Yeah, I think so. He didn't tell us a thing, but I think Zephora probably has a lead. In that case, let's try talking to him one more time. I'm sure you want to blast away the clouds of gloom in your heart as well. Right, Spacey? Look at his tiny little fang. He's got a tiny little fang tooth. Because he's a dragon. That's adorable. I don't think it's like an accident. I think it's supposed to look like a tiny little fang. Vilio grinned broadly enough to flash his teeth, but I could tell that he was worried. Flash his little fang tooth. I didn't think that we needed to talk, but it's clearly not enough. I'm sure it's probably popped up on a sprite before, but I haven't noticed. I was the one who said that we were all in this together. I really wish this game had been localized like 2 years ago. This would have been the best game to play during COVID. I'm just not even kidding. Like, we're all in this together. You know! This would have been like, this is a little too legit right now. I'll go talk with Zephora one more time. Everyone, I'm so sorry I worried you all. Rather than going as a group, it was easier to keep my cool one-on-one. Saying that, I headed towards Zephora's tent alone while feeling everyone's encouraging gazes on me. Excuse me. I announced my presence and entered the tent. His glare pierced me, as menacing as a hawk's. I was like, why are there 2 beds in here? And it's like, oh, that's true. Like, he shares with Vilio, right? What is it? Is this about what happened yesterday? I will not apologize for yelling at you. Back then, no, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not looking for an apology. What? Do you want to interrogate me? That's not it either. I don't want to press you for answers. Too forceful. I'm here because I want you to hear me out. There's something I want to confirm. I didn't give Zephora a chance to reply. Hurriedly, I began my appeal. You said that you abandoned Kultura, but I'm sure that it's a misunderstanding. You still treasure Kultura a lot even now, am I wrong? A naive brain you have. How did you ever get that impression? Oh, can even a person like me seem like a saint in your gullible mind? I have justification. Like, he says that, but look at his sad little face. Oh my god. He's like, oh, yeah, no, whatever. And then look at his face. He's like, but I mean, like, what? You think I'm sad? I'm not sad. I'm totally fine. Whatever. I'm not crying. You're crying. Zephora, though you left Kultura, you still carried your sachet around like a prized possession. That means you had plans of returning here one day, and you wanted to keep it. It was convenient, that's all. Even when that citizen was roaring at you, you didn't make excuses or bite back. You just let him blow up on you. I have no time to waste on fools, period. In addition, when we first arrived, you chased that pickpocket. You're investigating the riots because you want to find a solution, right? It's like, it's his hometown. Like, you know what I mean? Even though he's pretending like, I don't care. It's like, yes, you do. Oh, you love us. You love everyone here. Even someone like me doesn't think that the people here are happy right now. Which means that as someone who once lived here, you must feel it even more. At least, that's what I think. I made confident declarations, one after another, but he spat no cutting remarks in return, unlike our usual dialogues. There was only silence, which felt like a deafening yes when it came to Zephora. The person yesterday said you abandoned your duties as the future sentinel. But I'm certain that's a misunderstanding. If you wanted to run away, you didn't have to come back after all. We said nothing for a long while. Eventually, Zephora was the one who spoke. That man said yesterday is a mix of truth and error. So it's just like I suspected. Guess I could shed a little light on what happened. That being said, there's no proof that I'm speaking the truth either. There's a tone of self-mockery in his words, and he seemed to be testing my reaction. My answer was important. No matter what, I couldn't afford to mess up here. Oh god, are you going to give me a choice? I said, I trust you. Is it a lie then? I feel like, is it a lie? You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't think we're ready to trust him yet, are we? Hold on. Yeah, is it a lie? Is it a lie? You want to be like, I trust you. It's been like a day. Okay, it's been a couple, but like, you're not going to lie, right? Knows about that. You can choose which version you want to believe. What I want to believe. In that case, of course I'll trust your word, Zephora. I will trust you, but you don't have to trust me in return. I'm not going to force you. If you don't want to work together, you can just use us for your own gains. So please, don't shoulder the burden all by yourself. Never met a moron willing to trust my claims so blindly. You've never met Vilio before? I should introduce you. You're sharing a room with him, right? How can you place so much faith in me? I don't and can't understand. Yeah, you're hot and a clown. The clown part is... I have to keep throwing that in there to just get myself used to the fact that I'm attracted to the clown. I don't know. He was tense with wariness, almost like a bristling stray cat. I know you might accuse me of playing some game of friendship again if I say this, but it's because we're teammates. I think that's the biggest reason I can give you. Silence once again. I've said everything I wanted to say, and I got the answer to my question. He even said he was willing to explain everything that's been going on with him. I suggested that it might be better for Zephora to tell the whole group at once, rather than having to repeat himself. Okay, I'll go ahead and get everyone together then. Thus, I returned to where the team was already waiting for us. Ooh, now it's Zephora's turn. After she left the tent, I gazed at the ceiling and imagined the stars as I sunk into my thoughts in solitude. Scared. Of being betrayed again. Why would I trust anyone else? Terrified of ever being in another situation where I can only hope and pray that someone will believe me. Aww. Oh, look at our sad little muffin. But she has a point, and it's true that one person can only do so much. I know that. And I knew that I was being stubborn for a petty reason. I don't need her to tell me that. I've been aware the whole time. I know that. Aww. Angry, feisty cupcake. Some time passed after I returned to the common area. Eventually, Zephora appeared, looking as if a weight had been lifted from his shoulders.
Oh, hey, Zephora! You finally come around!
Make sure to save your portion of the food. No worries. Everyone welcomed him warmly, but Zephora just let their words go in one ear and out the other. He sighed.
You mentioned earlier that I should use you all for my own gain. Unfortunately, I can't accept such an offer.
So I didn't get through to him? And why might that be, if I may ask?
Using someone's a transaction. There has to be a give and take on both sides. But right now I have almost nothing I can give in exchange. So...
Zephora fixed his eyes on us before he slowly lowered his head.
I can't just use you. So, please... explain everything. Please help me, just this once. Help return Kultura to its rightful state.
Seeing Zephora act this way, we were all taken aback for a moment.
However, we're all like, what happened to you? Are you okay? Did you fall and hurt yours? Did you hit your head? Somebody call a doctor. Call a neurologist. I'd be thrilled to help. If you want to do something about it, I'll lend you all the help you want, Zephora.
We all grinned immediately and gave him firm, encouraging nods.
I just want a group hug where we're like all wrapped around him and he's just like in the middle, like, what the fuck did I get myself into? It's exactly how it would work out, you know. I cannot turn a blind eye to the citizens being forced to live in confinement. If I can be of assistance, I'll do anything needed. Naturally, I'll lend a hand as well. I mean, if Zephora of all people's going out of his way, then I'll help too.
If I'm the only one saying no here, that would be very elegant of me. That wouldn't be very elegant of me. I'm like, that would be? It was almost as if everyone had been waiting for Zephora to open up to us. Of course, I'll do anything. We all happily agreed in unison. Dinner had grown a bit cold while everyone talked, but after we ate, Zephora took the opportunity to speak up.
Heard about how I abandoned my post as the Sentinel's heir and left Kultura? That's half true, half false.
Huh? You're willing to disclose that much, I see. What a big change of heart.
Did you already know all of this, Ginia?
I suppose. I was the one who allowed Zephora to join, despite knowing his past, after all. It wouldn't be elegant to deliberately expose secrets without permission, right?
Look at you! Being, like, respecting other people's privacy and shit. Ginia, you think, seems like the gossip type, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my god, let me tell you what I know. But he's like, not. That's so sweet. Although it seems he's no longer hiding it.
That's because there's a certain moron here who's willing to believe me. Julio's over there like, yeah, wait, oh, it's not me? Nah, it's me this time! Woo! Jeez, would it hurt you to be thankful for once? Your tongue is as sharp as always. He's probably going through a rebellious phase. Silence, peanut gallery.
Seeing that they'd returned to their usual banter, I silently let out a sigh of relief. Zephora then cleared his throat and began the tale of his history.
In the past, the rule of the Sentinel and the strong bond between the citizens protected and supported the harmony of the city. But it all fell apart 3 years ago. Look at little baby Zephora! I mean, it's like, is he supposed to be as old as we are? Because, like, 3 years ago, he literally looks 10. But you know what I mean? Like, he's supposed to be like, back when I was 15, and you're like, you look 10! This is how they usually do characters. This is why, like, when they're, like, the 16, 17-year-old characters, they look like this, and you're like, so you're 10? I'm 22! No, you're fucking 10. Like...
Outside the window, there were children...
Oh, this is Zephora, sorry. I, for some reason, was just, like, thinking normal narration. Outside the window, there were children around my age frolicking merrily. You were distracted from your studies, so I wondered what you were doing. I see you're looking at the children playing outside.
I mean, he's got to be at least 13 or 14.
But, like, at the same time, he said 3 years ago. But, like, doesn't he look like... And, like, kids outside playing around, like... I mean, I guess back in the fantasy setting, I'm thinking of, like, 13 and 14-year-olds outside roller skate, playing around outside. That's usually what little kids do, like 10. By 14, you're inside playing games and shit. You know what I mean? Or, like, hanging out in your friends' room, like... But it's not the same culture, I guess, as normal society that we have, like modern society. This is fantasy society, so. Surely you're not thinking of joining them, are you? You don't need things like recreation. Your only focus should be becoming the Sentinel. Man, I thought maybe our dad was going to be nice. Yes, sir. My father was a stern sentinel whom all the citizens had unwavering faith in. He was a man who honored the history and traditions of Kultura, and following those traditions, I had a strict upbringing. Father wants me to become a respectable sentinel, so I can't let him down. Part of me was sad, for I had to live a life that was different from the others my age, but I saw it as my father's love for me. As the sentinel, and I was able to overcome it. When I turned 20, I would succeed my father in his role. That was my dream as a child and my sole reason for existing. Oh, so he's 19. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that was supposed to be in the past. He said it fell apart 3 years ago. Okay, so that wasn't 3 years ago. Okay, because that makes more sense, because I'm like, there's no way he was 16 in that. So that was when he was like 10 or something. But 3 years ago, when I was 16... Traveling? Is that really my father's command? It is! He apparently wants you to broaden your horizons as the next sentinel. I forgot Balto's voice already, but doesn't matter. He has requested from me to make the preparations for your departure. As he said that, Balto handed over my luggage with reverence. Balto was my father's younger brother, my uncle. Back then, he attended to government affairs as the Sentinel's advisor. Basically, he was the second most influential person in Kultura. Yeah, so he packed you off, then killed your parents, and then everyone's like, you abandoned them, and then your parents killed themselves! They were so upset! I'm just throwing it out there. I think your parents would be really upset if you ran away, but they'd have hope that you came back. They wouldn't, like, go jump in a river. You know what I mean? They'd always be hoping for your return. So that seems sus as fuck. Till that day, I'd been forbidden from leaving the city limits, which was why I doubted Balto's words at first, despite his position. However, I figured that Balto wouldn't have any motivation for deceiving me. If he did, my calculating side said that even if it were a ruse, it would be Balto's problem. As the victim, I probably wouldn't lose anything. More than anything, my curiosity about the big, wide world drove me to accept his words. Understood. I'll take my leave. Just like that, I went to travel for 7 days at Balto's instruction. 7 days. He left for 7 days! It's like taking a week off. Then, when I returned, Father, Mother, I'm back. Huh? Didn't see anyone around. When I returned, I was greeted with dead silence in the estate. Well, poor choice of words, game. Other than Balto, who stood there with a triumphant smile on his face. My, is that young Master Zephora I see? You have returned. You should have chosen to travel for much longer. Balto, have you seen my father? There are many things I wish to tell him, and... Tell him? That's impossible, I'm afraid. Look, he looks crazed. He's got crazy eyes. He absolutely killed our parents. For you see, your father's already passed away. What? Don't joke around about things like that. It's my father's... No, that's the symbol of the Sentinel. Why do you have that? Didn't you hear what I said? The previous Sentinel is dead. He was calling your name as he drew his last breath, you know. That's why your magnificent Uncle Balto is now the Sentinel of Kultura. No way. How could you? I think it's so funny that, like, okay, when he turned 20, he would take over, so, like, father steps down. It's like, you're gonna succeed him as Sentinel. Like, you would usually, like, succeed him when he gets, oh, I'm gonna retire, but, like, his dad probably would be, like, 40. You know what I mean? Maybe 45. You know what I mean? Depending on the age you had your kids, 20 to 25, maybe 30. Like, your dad's somewhere between 40 and 50. He's like, retired! Well, shit! Don't you think it's ridiculous that Sentinel is a hereditary position? My parents had such a superior second son, but merely due to the order of our births, my useless brother became Sentinel, respected by everyone, while I, as his little brother, have been stuck in his shadow. Absurd, right? How about you killed my father? Your own brother? No, you're lying. As long as he has the labyrinth necklace, no one can harm the Sentinel. Indeed, it was excruciatingly difficult to injure my brother, yes. But you know, when I told your parents that your life was in my hands, they happily presented their own lives to me on a platter. Oh, that's gonna. He's like, okay. Poor Sephora's like, I feel so guilty about going away on a vacation because it set this up. Oh, sweetie, it's not your fault. Don't feel guilty. Yes, in other words, it's all your fault. Oh, and then your evil uncle tells you that. Jesus. So Balto snatched everything away from you when you were not around. Balto, too. Balto deceived Sephora and killed his parents. He stole the labyrinth necklace and became the new Sentinel. You know what? This is actually better than Balto being your dad. Okay. Look. I was so set on like, oh, it's your dad. It's going to be great. You had a falling out and you left and because you didn't want to be the Sentinel, whatever. And then they said, and they were like, it's his uncle. And it's like, no, that's not as fun. But this makes it better. This is better. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, game. I'm sorry. I should have had faith in you. I should have had faith because like so far we've been having a great time, but okay. All right. I'll give it to you. Your idea about the uncle thing, way better. Way better. Still, the family connection was there and I'm here for it. So horrible. Can't. Past was so wretched that I didn't even know what to say. Yes, after that happened, I appealed to the citizens about Balto's actions, but, well, he must have gotten to them first. They all trusted Balto's little story, and nobody chose to believe me. Of course, I desperately denied all the charges Balto pinned on me at first. As time went on, I didn't have it in me anymore. Kultura had no place for me, so after that, I worked as an information broker while looking for a way to reclaim the city. Heard about the state of Kultura after I'd left. It's actually been 3 years since I set foot here. When Sephora finished talking about his past, unforgivable! Ilio whispered and his rage was clear. If that's the case, let's go beat him into a pulp right now! Are you a moron? I wouldn't be in this situation if strength could solve my problem. Seriously? Like, intelligence, cunning, sure, but I don't know about strength, Sephora. You're kind of twinkish. Just saying. Although, you know, I mean, the boob window, but you know what I'm just saying? Like, Ilio's got the strength, because he's the himbo, and he's a dragon, for fuck's sake. You are a circus clown, sir. I really do like their outfits. A good job. I like the flare. Everybody makes fun of the amnesia outfits, but like, and they are ridiculous. Why would you be wearing one knee-high boot and one thigh-high boot, and then like, you know, but I'm the buckles and the straps and everything. But the flare, I'm here for it, you know. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. I didn't read that, did I? Whoops. Anyway. Balto took over the position of Sentinel through official procedures, so he has the labyrinth necklace. I have to rewind because that was a gallery thing and I didn't read it. I'm sorry. Labyrinth necklace, the core item of Kultura, the labyrinth city that was left behind by Libra, the great spirit of wind. Imbued with strong wind magic, this necklace controls the underground labyrinth. It's managed by Kultura's hereditary ruler, the Labyrinth Sentinel. Because of that, even if I had a dragon on my side, we couldn't catch him so easily. But you do have a dragon on your side. Labyrinth necklace. You mentioned that earlier, right? What do you mean when you say we can't catch him so easily? Labyrinth necklace. The core item of Kultura left by the great spirit of wind, Libra. Core items. A set of powerful mystical tools. There's one in each of the major 5. They are national treasures left behind by King Arthur and the great spirits who founded the cities. It's enchanted with powerful wind magic, so it can bend the labyrinth and even the wind itself to its will. Thus, having physical strength isn't enough if you want to seize him. He escapes into the labyrinth, and that's it. In that case, snatching the necklace away would solve our problems, would it not? If we take him by surprise... No, it's a mystical tool that's connected to the official sentinel. Taking it away physically won't do anything. Need to sever that bond. That means our hands are tied. At least in the matter of Balto. For now, yes. What do you mean? A while ago I mentioned that there's something I want if Circus succeeds. Do you remember that? My wish is to borrow a race from the government. Mystic tool that can tear the labyrinth necklace away from the sentinel.
Erase 1. A mystic tool with the sole purpose of confiscating the labyrinth necklace from the sentinel. Currently managed by the castle.
Is there really a mystic tool solely made for that purpose? Yes, it was made in case the king ever had to remove a wicked person from the position of sentinel. In that case, let's go borrow it right now. Ginia, please!
I now can do. Balto's gone through the official procedures at the castle, and he's recognized as the legitimate sentinel. My heart goes out to Zephora, but we can't judge Balto as a criminal and drag him down from his position without proof.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, in reality.
Which is why we should only focus on what we can do. Obtaining incriminating evidence that proves Balto's behind the lunatic riots. Then successfully finishing the show so we can come back later with a race.
See, that absolutely makes fucking perfect sense because, again, this sounds like a conspiracy, but he became the sentinel and then keeps everyone in their houses, because then they can't talk. His misdeeds can't come out if anybody, you know what I mean? Like, you're keeping the information contained because no one can talk to each other. Plus, your city is prospering because all the people have to do is work because they can't go to conventions, they can't talk to people, they have no social lives, so it's like, well, I might as well just tinker around and craft some shit. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah. Psycho! Such a shame he's hot, but you know, whatevs.
These two main things should be our focus. You sound as if you know for certain that Balto's the mastermind behind the riots. Well, the guy became Sentinel 3 years ago, right when the riots began. The circumstantial evidence points to Balto being the big bad. That's a normal conclusion.
That, and Balto also claimed that the current situation was a benefit to his people.
But knowing you, Zephora, you aren't basing this off pure intuition, right? Yeah, but I don't have proof, so it's still only speculation on my part. Which is why I want evidence right now. I know we likely won't get concrete proof that'll solve the riots right away, but I want to uncover enough information to at least confirm that Balto is guilty. So, please lend me a hand. You didn't even have to ask. Okay, so what should we do? Learn the cause of the riots and promote our show. Ion, you come with me. We'll go dig something up. Understood. I want the rest of you to tackle promotion. I'll be honest, going around to each house like we have been is too inefficient. There's going to be a forum held by the Sentinel tomorrow. That's our chance. Sentinel's Forum, an event in which the Sentinel and the citizens can interact and exchange ideas. Unique to Cultura, a city renowned for its strong and harmonious social relations. Citizens are required to participate unless there's an emergency. The only time they're allowed to get out of their house! Forum. The Sentinel's Forum. It's a tradition here. They're regularly held events where the Sentinel interacts with citizens. But everyone's... Wow, got all them voices mixed up right there. But everyone's hiding away in their houses, so they probably won't even come, right? They will. Attendance is compulsory for these forums, unlike other events. There will definitely be a crowd. Well, that old man told them they couldn't come to our show, and pulls this off! What rubbish! The nature of the people in this city is harmony. Others don't do something, you don't. They do, you follow. Nobody's willing to take a step forward right now because Balto says no. But it's possible to turn the tables in a public area. Got it. Leave promotion to me. I'll do my best as well. I don't know why when Pashalia shows up, my brain tries to put Ginia in there. Like the voice doesn't come out right. Alrighty, just you watch.
Thank you. Sephora bowed once again. We didn't waste any time and immediately began preparing for the start of our operation the next day. And we're going to stop. And we'll go on to the next day and our next day. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.